Zunias. This one really passed my power. Una list the way they talk am for here. Say Ebenezer Akwanga, he capture priest, father for Kali Church. Then he asks 9 million. Make father pay 9 million before they release him. So now where these people they talk for here say Ebenezer go fit the fight army, then fight Catholic Church. Say Amber war, no be na for church. And Ebenezer, he don't go tell he boys and say, make they seal the church. So as we talk.
Fellow viewers, I'm Theodon Gomba wishing you a cordial welcome to another happening of special guests on Cry Out Radio and Television. We invite our ever-growing viewership to visit our website at www.cryoutradio.tv to grasp our lofty goals. Download our app from the App Store or Play Store. Subscribe to the Cry Out Radio TV YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Also, invite friends and family to like and share our programming as we continue this challenging but achievable journey. We'll continue to reiterate that our platform encourages debate and has a zero-tolerance policy for insults. A lifetime ban awaits any persons or entities who dare to indulge in such erratic behavior. We also wish to make it crystal clear that Cry Out is a private initiative. So please kindly disregard any rumors about Cry Out Radio TV having a federalist, restorationist, or unionist agenda. Before we start this interview, we have another Soca Dev surrogate and Akwanga choir boy who made some threats after our last episode, 23. He thought he could hide behind his phone and talk recklessly to grown-up men. We unmasked him in no time. Here is Isa Ida Isancho, who resides in Moscow, Russia, and claims to work for Gazprom. According to him, Reverend Father Jude and crew should have been slaughtered like chicken. Reverend Freya Charles Luanga Augustino Maria of the Cross, you are welcome to today's show.
Thank you very much.
We'll ask you a few questions and then give our audience the opportunity to ask their questions at the end. We hope
You're welcome.
Akwanga knows his Miranda rights because in his attempt to counter episode 23, we reminded him of his Miranda rights. Unfortunately for the kidnapper-in-chief, he made several incriminating statements, a few of which we will highlight. The whole world now knows the following to be a fat lie.
The highest respect of the Geneva Convention.
That's about the Geneva Convention. Friar, can you give our viewers a brief introduction about yourself?
Well, I'm Reverend Friar Charles Luanga Augustino Maria. That is my religious name because when we become religious, we change our civil names. So my civil names are Charles Liongala Matute. I hail from Fako. I am a friar. I was a jurist. I hold a degree in law and political science, and then I taught for 8 years before my classmate and spiritual director, when he was ordained Reverend Father Jude, he encouraged me to come back into this call. So now I am a missionary, a religious, and I'm doing my 5th year in theology. God's willing to be ordained as a full-fledged priest come next year.
Thank you. As a follow-up, we apologize to you and our audience for calling you a Reverend Father in our ad for this show. Thanks for the clarification and sorry for this editing error. Now,
you're welcome.
Akwanga has replaced the word ransom with the word bribe, as if one is better than the other. We want our audience to listen.
I even had a quarrel with Father Jude, where I told Father Jude, why did you people give bribe?
Fry, do you remember attacking my humble person with claims of me being compromised by the government of Cameroon through Peter Mafani Musonge? Were you a victim of fake news, or do you still have that conviction?
Molangomba, I don't quite remember ever attacking you. If you can remind me of the occasion, please.
Well, I think we belonged in a forum that is being run by Akere Divine. In that forum about 2 years ago, during the early days of the struggle, when we had people like Bo Herbert trying to tarnish me or sabotage me, which is the same thing this kidnapper Akwanga is trying to do. And you did mention that.
Okay, I see. I had even forgotten about the incident and even about the forum. You know, I left the forum sometime, I can say 2 years ago as well. You know, Mola, I'm one who is convinced about my stand for this struggle, which is standing with and for the oppressed. So I'm easily moved by any argument. I don't digest. It is my weakness and my strength. Never take my words then seriously. You know, we were like in a forum debate. It was not like in a public pronouncement. So I think it wasn't something I published somewhere, or I had maybe, you know, when we debate, everybody wants to win the debate. So at times when you're to put down your opponent, you are bound to call him names and things like that. So
are you
I
telling
apologize
us that,
for that.
Okay, so are you telling us that, do you still believe in that conviction? Is a yes or no?
Well, as I tell you, no, I never even had it as something substantial, no, against you.
Okay,
sorry about it.
Thank you, Friar. Well, you see, this issue of me taking money from Musonge is the handiwork of Bo Herbert, Chia Innocent, and a few others like Akwanga. Just so the people know, this is important because we have to highlight the fact that fake news continues to do more harm than good. The facts show that fake leadership of the Anglophone struggle have been corrupted by money and power. They take credit for good ideas suggested by others. But we will stop at nothing to drag your name in the mud if you point out their failures or represent any threat to them. They will stop at nothing. They want no voice but theirs. Breaking news, crowd will not back down from such intimidation. They should take that very clear. Most dictators start off good, but eventually get carried away by the waves of money and power. We see the confusion in South Sudan as an example. While the people continue to suffer, the leadership continues to live good lives. All this began with such irresponsible behavior from leadership. The leaders need to know that their every step and statement are being recorded. We will continue to check them whenever they stray away from their commitment to their people, and will not hesitate to cut their tails and clip their wings as the need arises. Now, I want our viewers to listen to the following contradictions from Akwanga.
Whether they were beaten or not, I did not know. It is only what Father Jude told me. Because Father Jude said they were beaten. When I went to the guys, why did you do that? The guy said they were not beaten. And Father Jude's own driver is saying they were not tortured. Yet Father Jude went to the hospital. He had wounds. There is not that they were beaten. But it depends on what degree of the beating was there. I wasn't there. So I don't control the soldier. When I said don't beat, they go and they arrest people and they think they have arrested some criminals.
Now, Freya, you are obviously affiliated to the IG. Are you trying to use this opportunity to bury Akwanga and push the IG's narrative?
My affiliation to the IG did not push Akwanga to become a kidnapper. I don't think so.
Okay.
I am not an IG ESCO member. All I do in the IG, I partake in the health and social services for humanitarian purpose to reach our people in the health and social services. So I don't see how my affiliation to that is to nail Akwanga, because I think what we have come up it's not allegation, it's fact. And what happened actually, my affiliation to the IG didn't send him to kidnap priests and even to God now as he's closing churches.
Okay. What mistakes do you think have been made by the IG, if any, and what are your suggestions to fixing the problem?
Well, to begin with, I think the IG, like we can look, the struggle was not something prepared. None of the IG members came up or went to a school of formation on how to handle this issue. I think all of them who are there, they are doing voluntary services, which we should also applaud them for that. But I think that notwithstanding, there are some loopholes which we must try to see how they could be repaired. For instance, coming out so often to give certain information, which at the end maybe what the president will say will be contradictory to what the communication secretary will say, are things which must be taken into consideration and repaired, and we should be based, because for instance now we have a lot of facts of the ills of what the Cameroon government has done to our people, that we don't need propaganda, but we need to face facts and present facts and nothing but facts, not politics, but to show how oppressed, and then not to support anything which we do with what we are trying to condemn. I think things like what Akwanga is doing, the IG should stand up openly and criticize and draw a line with that.
Okay, we want to mention that the IG and other groups are also guilty of multiple crimes to our people, which will bring to light once the investigations are completed. Now, poor Jerry, the driver, held as surety for ransom. Listen to Sokadev boss. Says Jerry is innocent.
Was why they removed that one person. Who was Jerry? In fact, an innocent one. And took him aside.
Now, to the essence of this program, what was your initial reaction to the kidnappings of Declaration missionaries, and how did you get involved with the issue of guaranteeing their safety and eventual release?
Well, father was kidnapped. They were kidnapped on a Friday, and I was only informed on the Saturday evening. And as I told you, Reverend Father Jude was my classmate in Bishop Logan College, and he is my spiritual director who encouraged me to come into this call. And since I've been in Italy, he has visited me three times. He was just here before he traveled to the US. So when I got the news of his kidnapping, it was in our Bishop Logan ex-student forum. So what I did was I was so much disturbed, and I said, okay, I tried to contact one or two people I know on ground who are working with most often with the people on ground that I know they are very active. So when I tried to contact them and I could not succeed to have anybody, I called one person who once called me, because with the social HSS, Health and Social Services, any person who calls for help that we have been shown, we are in the forest, we are refugees, we are EDPs, we try to reach. I don't ask whether you have the IG, you have Sokadev or any camp. So there was this one's help, so I stated his number, and it was around the Mononge zone. So I tried to him to say you are head of this kidnapping. He told me was in Yaoundé. I never even knew the camp belonged. So, so doing, I contacted people. Then I came across, I contacted Mr. Fombat, who called some people around Zero, who told us frankly that they got every evidence that the priests, they were with the Sokadev forces that is led by Upopo, that we pleaded. They said they have tried to talk to Upopo, and Upopo became so arrogant, and they told the solution is to reach Akwanga. I didn't even have Akwanga's phone number, so even Mr. Fomba didn't have contacted Wunja, who gave me his number before I reached Akwanga. And when I reached Akwanga, at their side, he refused that the so-called Upopo himself is under kidnapped. He has been kidnapped by, he said, another guy called Divine. I never knew of these names even. So I went back to Fomba and told him that Dr. Akwanga is refusing allegations. So what should we do? He sent audio message again to Dr. Akwanga that there is no way he can refuse. The guys are with Divine. Meanwhile, one of our tenants in Boya called me and said, he had some priests were kidnapped. That one of his friends who was kidnapped left the camp where the priests were kidnapped. He too was kidnapped there for some weeks, and he paid ransom. So I told him to tell me to link me to that his friend. And that his friend was not willing to talk because of the trauma and torture he went through the camp. Up to today, I've not been able to get to him. So I continue with Mr. Fomba. We reached Dr. Akwanga. When Mr. Fomba sent the audio text, the audio, when Akwanga listened to it, he made and changed his original version of Divine to take, they were not in the keeping of Father, and I was saying how he had warned them never to ever have anything to do with kidnapping, ransoming, especially when it comes to priests and other social workers, that he has told them that is no go area. That he's giving me, that was on Monday, that he was giving me 24 hours seeing to it, that he was not around the country, that he was out of the country. So he has given them 24 hours ultimatum. So I waited Monday, Tuesday. So I started threatening Akwanga that if you don't, I already know you have these people, I will go on social media. I tried to reach other people like the IG, our HSS bosses, who also talked to him and promised they will be released. And Father was slowly released on Thursday. So from there, I went to talk to Father and gave me, we were able to exchange, and I now became aware of what's going on. And the Father was released as a guarantee to come and look for money to go and release Jerry. So it's not like Jerry. So the only Jerry was kept behind like a bet, like a guarantee. So that was what happened. Akwanga kept on refusing. When threatening on going on TV, after they had received money, they received the money in three installments: 4 million francs CFA, 2 million francs CFA, which was sent to them through the catechist. You heard of all the audio. And then the last sum was 500,000 francs, which Father sent through Momo. And when Father sent this through Momo, they promised they were to release the driver the next day. They want to leave him at the catechist place at 5 a.m. But Bobby Ty, these guys came at 12 midnight to assassinate the catechist. God being so kind, because through all this time we have been in prayers, God being so kind, the catechist was out to urinate at that ungodly hour, 12 midnight, when these guys were coming with bikes. So the catechist had to run for his dear life because he saw guys coming with bikes behind his house. He saw how they went into his house, searched his house, and fortunately had his phone. He was able to call Father where he ran from the place where he was that he reached safety. And we thank God, all those people, they are living testimony today. Even Jerry that Akwanga came and was saying he made the video where he was under torture. So today we have all those people, and I tell you, Akwanga, those people will be in the United States any moment from now, and you will appear before the court with all the evidence.
Okay. I am the boss. When it comes to ransom money, I let the majority decide. Can the producer play that so the people should hear? Says,
and you come, oh, go and return the money. Listen, I am not Sokadev. I'm the leader of Sokadev. When I take a decision, and the majority said no, they will keep that money.
So that's Akwanga saying that he is the boss, but the majority decided that the money should be kept. Now, with the overwhelming evidence against Ebenezer Akwanga and his Sokadev gang, he still continues to claim his innocence. He says his boys took bribe and not ransom, which is a bad joke. He justifies acts of torture from his forces, arguing that professionals do it. Can you shed more light on what you know about circumstances surrounding this incident, the kind of torture that Father Jude went through and the rest of Jerry and the others? We know he explained, he told you.
Mulangomba, before I will give the message first of Father Jude to the public. Father Jude has sent a message that he has forgiven Akwanga and all his gang. He has forgiven them for all their atrocities. That is, as a priest, he has forgiven them. And now I'm taking it from the legal part because justice must be done.
Yes, they deserve
justice. The pictures Mulangomba spread here were just minor pictures, because if you see the real pictures, Father at the beginning that was released, he just reached to me, he didn't make it. You know, those people, when they take you, you are put on that torture. He's undergoing psychotherapy with all his brothers who were kidnapped. What Father they have spent just for the psychotherapy is much. And I'm telling you, when Father they left this, as he told me, they left money and they have debt.
Yes.
If you look from the pictures, when they reached around another camp, some boys who were, I can say, the real boys who were standing for the oppressed, they took them, even cleaned them up and gave them something to eat. Father, they were tortured on basis, minute basis, second basis. If you look at the real pictures, I think I sent them to you. To this, I would say, when Father first came out, he didn't want the world to, because he just believed maybe from their words, they told him, okay, just go and look for something and send to us to release this boy. So when Father came out, even to me, he didn't tell me he was being tortured, or he didn't tell me even that ransom was being asked. And let me tell you, Father wanted to just do these things so that it should not cause any havoc, because he went there for humanitarian purpose. And the more Father they insisted, that was, I became what I said, but Father, how comes he has 3 days, he has not yet been, what's wrong then? Father has never been asked, of anything, but that time Father was so worried, was saying he's looking for how he can have money. This, and I said, Father, why are you looking for money for this? Something, please talk to me. I'm your spiritual son, talk to me. If I'm in a situation, I'll talk to you. It was when Father opened up to me and told me, brother, even though I told you I wasn't tortured, I was just trying to keep where I am. We were hospitalized. When we reached Douala, the Archbishop sent us just after us immediately to go to the hospital. And they were hospitalized. And Father, because Jerry was in the camp, Father could not leave Jerry in the camp. Father had to run here and state and looking for money to go and, let's say, pay for the ransom of Jerry. That's when the hospital.
Yes.
Father went, they asked him to pay 2 francs FA. He pleaded with them to them. They told him if anybody should know, Jerry would be killed. So at this time, when I had insisted, Father had told me, Father said, please, for the sake of this boy's life, just leave me, let me do everything to look for money and pay this ransom. I don't even want to make us know, because these boys, they are dangerous. If you saw where we went in the camp. So when Father said that, I respected his words. By then, he had not even shown me the pictures of their torture. He went looking for means, looking for money. We are religious. We have the poverty. We don't have salary. Father is a Clarita missionary. So, tried, raised 4 million francs, sent to them. As they pleaded, they said, okay, send us what you say, have 4 million. When he sent it, they insulted him that they are not selling corn and granuts.
Yes, I have an audio like that.
We asked you 10 million. If you can remove anything, we can only remove 3 million. Send us the balance. It was as if it was paying them. They send us the balance, 3 million, or Jerry will be terminated. Father pleaded. He said, what do you have? Father pleaded. He went again, he left, everyone to Yaoundé, hustled, and came again with 2 million. Father sent them again 2 million. All this time, Father was sending this money through the catechist. So when he sent this money to remaining 2 million to the catechist, they not release the guy. Father said, what again do you want? He contacted Akwanga. They had not even told Akwanga they were asking for money because they told him if we hear from anybody. And I told him we should talk to Akwanga. Akwanga is their boss, so we should be diplomatic. He reached Akwanga. Akwanga, please, he said, I will intervene and investigate it. When I reached Akwanga, I sent you some videos. He started shouting at me. Father has been giving his liberties to go and enjoy his party. As for Jerry, we have to follow up his case and make sure we prosecute him if he's guilty. That was when I reached Akwanga. I said, he's guilty for what? This guy is a driver. You people are saying it's a military. If he's a military, send me his identity card to show that he's a military. Meanwhile, Father was begging Akwanga. Akwanga went and linked him up with one guy called Ajong Divine. Ajong Divine claims to be a Bishop Roger ex-student. He's even in our Bishop Roger ex-student forum. While we're pleading, we never knew where Father was. We're crying when Father was being kidnapped from the Saturday till the Monday when I came to know it was Akwanga. Ajong Divine was in the same forum with us.
Apparently, you didn't know one of the kidnappers Father was right there with you guys.
Was yeah.
He lives. So Ajong Divine lives in Texas.
Father reached Ajong Divine. Okay. When Father reached Ajong Divine now told Father, no, they are going to look at the case. Akwanga has given the case to him. Father was still worried. Then he sent the case, the number of Ajong Divine to me. He said, Akwanga said one of our colleagues. He said, but I don't know this guy, Ajong Divine. When he sent me the name, I went into my identifying call. I realized we're in the same forum with him. I reached him. When I reached him, I said, well, I'm this, introduced myself. He said, okay. I said, concerning the case of Father's driver, he says in the case. Then I asked him, what do you people want? How much do you people want? Tell us, let us know what to do. He told me, he never replied me again. Then I think he even blocked me. It was, then I went back to Akwanga and started again to talk to Akwanga and threatening Akwanga. By then, Father went again, called those guys. They said he should send them, okay, this time around, he should send them 500,000. I told Father, these guys are like that. You send this money, they will keep on asking. I have known of people who have been in their captivity for months, and when they leave, they have extracted everything from them. These people, some of them come there even crippled. So I said the only thing we'll do is to attack these people. Father, no, let's do things. That was when Father went and sent that audio to Akwanga and said, do you know I have given this amount of money? Father sent now the 500,000 francs. When he sent the 500,000 plus 5,000 for the withdrawal of the 500,000, this was when these guys promised to go and give the driver to the catechist at 5 a.m. But at 12 midnight, they went to assassinate the catechist. That was when the catechist called. I told Father, you see, these guys, they are not serious. I'm not even sure. I was even worried if the driver was alive. I reached Akwanga. I said, are you sure this driver is alive? You should show us proof. You cannot be keeping somebody investigating. Tell us. I reached Ajong Divine. I said, tell us. You say this guy is a military guy. Tell us, how is this guy a military guy? Can we have his identity? Format asked for them to send the identity of the guy to prove he's the military. Ajong Divine responded to me that no, this guy, if he's a secret agent, we cannot even know his identity. No, they can never make him an identity. I said, so if he's a secret agent, how did you come to know without any identification paper? Akwanga said, no, when they torture somebody, he will be able to speak. And that was their torturing. Meanwhile, Father told me that they were even being tortured and put on that video to testify that they were spies for La République. Can you imagine?
Okay.
And when I already approached Akwanga on that, he said he has proof. I told Akwanga, what proof do you have? The proof you people have put father and the others under torture to say they are sick. That's the proof you want to give me. He never came out with that. This one of Larry, he just came out with it of recent, and you see the guy was under torture. But what beside them today, Larry is with father.
This platform has deliberately refrained from calling him doctor. We think his PhD should be revoked. He has not only disgraced himself, but the great institution that made him doctor and its alumni. Now, let's listen to how he explains that the money should be kept and no church in Munyenge.
You will not get that money.
Yes, continue to where he says no church in Munyenge.
The Catholic Church will not exist in the Munyenge area.
Thank you. So, yes, let's watch the video following up to what he said.
I beat you already made that team, so. You're Manila. Claire. Close the church. As we close, as we closer. Only one side.
Catholic Church closed before that notice.
Unakaa na kwa sinko. Jama mno go lock. Keep am under. Move that lock go give.
We put a very lock and on kneel about it.
The way they come off for Akwanga, and this. Claire, Commander, don't finish.
That one day. That one day. Make it work.
Asawana.
So, after the kidnappings, torture, and paid ransom, Akwanga's boys have proceeded to seal the church in the area. We really think the church would have been burnt to the ground if it wasn't for our exposure of their abominable acts. Clearly, Ebenezer Akwanga-sponsored gangs are denying the people their right to worship. Akwanga said he will personally order for this. Now, it has happened. How do you think the Catholic Church should prosecute this matter?
Well, I think the church has always preached love, forgiveness, tolerance. Father Jude is an author. One of his books is How to Live in Harmony with Muslims and Other Religions. So that's some aspect that some people don't know. He's an author, he's a musician, and the church has always preached love. But that notwithstanding, as I told you, the church is not made up of the priests and the religions. The church is made up of the people. The assembly is made up of the people. So that act can even call the people to rebel against the people, against those guys, and it can equally call for a civil action. Any Christian who feels tormented can take a lawsuit.
It's not a civil
Akwanga
action,
anywhere in the world.
Freya. That's a criminal act. That is a criminal act.
A criminal
yes.
act, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
not
then
civil.
Can prosecute him criminally, and then to add, let me just tell you everything, because from the very moment Father was kidnapped, I made my own report. I passed through a bishop here, which went directly to the Vatican, and I'm giving them updates of every action. So I don't know how they will react on that. And as you know, even the Pope has been calling on this issue, and that notwithstanding, we have been doing our best. I don't think the church has ever abandoned the people, because since the struggle, the church has suffered its own. The church has criticized. We can see the actions of the bishop. We can see the letters the bishop wrote. We can even see some priests who have been victims, like Father Sop. He was communicating with me. He told me, pray for me, I'm a target, and he was killed. So the church has suffered, and we're still suffering. But I'm just calling on Akwanga and his gang that they should know why some might be tolerant. Some of us also will also apply justice where it's supposed to be applied. As I said, fathers for giving them bail. I am making known to the world that besides the 6.5 million which they claim, they also took other things from Father. I have a list of everything that Father bought to go and to carry to Monyenge. I have the list. Beside their car that was malhandled, they had, I don't know if you permit me, I can read the list. You permit me, so that the world should know what those kidnappers did. They did not just brutalize them, but they equally looted everything they had, including their personal belongings, clothes, everything. They left them naked. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we want our viewers to understand that a lot of people from the southern Cameroons have reached out to us, and they are willing to follow up with Akwanga to any extent. Like they have vomited Akwanga completely. They want to make sure that an example is set. They want to make sure that all the other factions, they should do this. They should call Akwanga out, and they should denounce ransom, kidnappings for ransom. Now, Team Akwanga is claiming that the Catholic Church was involved in the genocide in Rwanda, killings of Jews, mayhem in Burundi, Central African Republic, and elsewhere, which is still no justification for what his forces continue to do to our people. Let's see the video Akwanga is using of Jerry Bersin, the unfortunate driver, at gunpoint addressing his captors. Akwanga claims this is solid evidence of spying against Father Jude. Now, what do you have to say about that at this juncture? And then after that, we'll take questions. So, producer, can you put that video?
My name is Jerry. My name is Jerry Berson. I be that person where that father they come from for years. I've been a military man, keep for my 14 for money in the year. Now I'm a 3rd week this year. I don't enter them. Like yes, we've been the clock me say 2 weeks. And since I come for here, Since they keep me for a year, they never get back to me. They never try to do anything to release me. And since they can't set me as a military man, maybe one time they kill me or anything. But now the boy, they don't protect me. Give me job every day. Make sure say I sleep fine. Make sure say I day fine. Anytime I feel any pain, they give me drugs. But on the contrary, now instead that Father Jude, they ever take some military man where they ever drive you camp for money here. I show now number third, they don't come like number 3 or how many times we know. Because now we when they become for here plenty with
Say Father who?
Father Jude.
Say the door.
You get some military man where they ever drive you bring them from money here. And where I think that now for the confusion about me because me I be in a studio.
Which you use to do with a military man to me
They
again?
always come for their parish for money parish day.
When a military man is driving.
Whether the military man they drive you. Whether the military man they drive you. So I should say now for the mistake about me. They may have been in a studio man and we military man studio man I get my studio for Bamila where I do audio and video them. And for all this while we are there for years on I'm telling you we are in that. Now the boys if you don't take care of me, now the boys they don't give me job, protect me. Anytime where any small danger they first protect me first before themselves, and then they don't do a whole lot of things for make sure say they take me like one of their products in my wash, and even the conditioner they never demand me any money. All this time where they keep me for years now only for investigation, they never demand me any money or any ransom. So all this time we were enough now only for the keeping up for doing investigation because they get a number a population where they protect and where they for bush. And me I understanding that we get for them we protect with people them. So I really glad that they take time to do the investigation to find out the truth. And about that father then I be very disappointed say they keep me for years now more than why we they leave them go they not try to get back to me. I don't know whether if they plan where they come set me up so I've been a military man because one time they kill me or what will be their reason. I don't know but now only God will judge we and them and only God will pay them.
The one you know be tell we where that father every day see that father beside he drive every day in a military man and he don't always come for this side, come for this side.
At first time when they start investigate, I know be no say the confusion been for that side. The one come from my mind we don't already separate we and them. I be check we see they for different we see they or we see they but so I want to say they go ask you about that one why not they don't go. But normally I know that man. That time we will come for you sometimes with some plenty of white people for some crusade for Catholic Church. Catholic Church for Monyenge. That may be I'm one of the drivers that will come with me. I will drive now, but he will drive Hilux.
The army man.
Yes.
When our Father Jude bring you for my voting.
When our Father Jude will bring
my voting.
Yes. If before Father Jude be inside your motor, me I will drive now white people there.
Okay.
So it really go off my mind time where they be see there for you for talking about me when I investigate me the boy the investigator. But so far, so good. I thank God say, no matter how they set me up as a military man, but they don't make an investigation. They don't kill them innocent person. They make the investigation, do everything. They never ask any ransom. They never point any gun at me like threatening me. May I talk anything out of the thing where I want to talk. They just keep we all this one for do their investigation.
Because news they go around the way, even some soldiers they talk say our general for faculty, our BB general Paul Pupu. So they talk say don't take on a ransom, one they talk say don't take on a kind million, they every 50 million, 20 million. You know, because they say you dey for you don't know what they happen. If the Paul Pupu don't take on as a ransom, make the way me know say don't take on as a ransom.
To the best of knowledge, they never take power, people never take anything from we. Now instead you protect me. Me I talk personally about me. Now instead you protect me, give something for the body for protect me, keep me safe until the investigation finish. Never ask no ransom. You never take nothing from we. All the time we keep we know because you want ransom, because if you do investigation. With me I be for that because you get for doing you get for make sure say if people the way they protect and be safe. So you need to take time at time for do investigation. We come on when they come. No, we don't be people around where we easily investigate them. So it need time for do investigation.
Okay, our viewers have seen that. We want to apologize for not being professional in what we're going to do right now. We received the response of Father Jude, as you can see here, which I'm going to read. Unfortunately, it came late when we had already prepared for this show, but I think the producer will embed this later on, and let me read it. I sent that video, and Father Jude said, thanks for sharing this video. I also saw it on Facebook. The commentaries speak for themselves. Anyone in this condition will say anything to free himself from torture. We had no communication with Jerry when we left. That is true. Then how would they expect him to know about ransom? Jerry was kept there as a surety for us to bring the money. It is only when that money was sent and they were still not releasing him and kept on demanding for more that we started also threatening. Everything was geared towards bringing him out. Now that he is out, we are fine with it. If we were giving bribe, those guys should have published it. Even before we were released, we have forgiven everyone involved in this. Jerry is out and we are satisfied. As for the physical and psychological wounds, they was kept. As for the physical and psychological wounds, I think that was Father Jude's message. Give me a minute. Father Jude's message. Okay, as for the physical and psychological wounds, we are taking care of them, and we will really appreciate if the perpetrators of this can stop doing this to any other person. We are enjoying our Christmas in the pains we have, but we are happy to do so for the sake of Christ. Now, that is a message from Father Jude. I also want our audience to understand something. These men of God, they've taken oaths. They do confessions. There are certain things that, because Father Jude says he has forgiven these people, even though he's in pain, he has an oath that he has taken. Now, we are going to the audience now for them to, after we let our guest answer or respond to that video. We know you give some lights about that video. What is the situation right now with the driver, Jerry, and how is he going through his therapy? We understand he's really traumatized.
Well, I think, as you know, Akwanga and his gang, they are very evil people who go to know, who can stop at nothing else but to look for the people again. I tell you, I'm telling you, the God I serve, I know He's also the God of justice, and He will fight for us. So they have closed the church where the sacrament is being celebrated, but the Lord will take care of His own. To respond to that video, I think I will tell you one thing. Akwanga, the first claim Jerry was under investigation, which I sent you the video and the audios, and any person who wants to get the audios, reach me. I'm ready to share you all those Akwanga's audios and the audios from Ajong Divine. The driver was the spy first. That was what they told me, that he was a military man. But now they are saying father brought military men. So you see their contradiction. And then second, if at all the driver was left, because the driver there under gunpoint saying he was left behind by Father Jude. As I sent another audio to Akwanga, which any person who wanted to reach me, I think I've circulated it on social media. I can even make a video and put it on YouTube, where I told Akwanga if there was anybody who knew Father was paying ransom, was Father, myself, and Akwanga. So if those boys knew already that the public was talking of them being asked ransom, it means Akwanga did that purposely, play over what I already told him. Because when we approached him, you saw Father's audio. When Father told him, you know, I've paid ransom, this and that, and the boy has not yet this. That was when they went now. We're asking him, it is being said that we asked you ransom. Did we ask for you ransom? So how comes the people in the camp already knew? Because nobody knew. Only the three of us, Father Jude, Akwanga, and myself, knew about the ransom Father was. So this is to tell you people, Akwanga was behind the ransom taking. That's why I told them, you people should make him a video to deny that he is not being asked to ransom.
Yes, we understand.
So that is to prove to you, Akwanga is behind the ransom.
He is.
And then their Father made it clear. How comes Jerry were separated from them? How come Jerry, we gave bribe? If we gave bribe before we left, this boy could have made it public. And another question I would say, Akwanga said bribe, Father opted to give 10 million bribe. Oh, come now, calmly. You all heard the video, the audio where Father was saying how he offered the money he sent to them, which was 4 million, 2 million, 500,000 francs. If father
Including the money
opted
they
to
took
send
from father.
bribe of 10 million, yes, about 500,000, including the things. Okay, if father opted, because according to Akwanga, when father was kidnapped, he opted to bribe. If father opted to bribe 10 million, how comes father was released and then he went out looking for money and started paying 4 million, 2 million, 5? He did not pay. Somebody was willing to pay you 10 million as bribe. Later you release him and then now he started paying you 4 million,
in installments.
2 million 500,000. It did not even reach the initial 10. It did not even reach the initial 10 million he wanted to bribe you with. The way you see is what should we even be saying? Everybody should hold Akwanga responsible for the relatives who have ever been kidnapped in the south. Don't know much about the northern zone. All those people reach us will fight a case against Akwanga. He is the kidnapper. Everybody whose family has paid ransom, we should come up with a list.
Freya,
Akwanga
I will not accept that. It's not only Akwanga involved in the Southwest. There are other groups that are involved there. We have evidence. We have talked to some of them, and some of them, they have agreed and they have said they are going to talk to their soldiers down there and they're going to change this. See, that is a good thing. They have accepted, they have acknowledged that it is not a good thing for our people to go through this. And they have given me their word that they are doing everything to educate these boys that it is not allowed. They are not supposed to do that. And I've seen instances where they've released people that I have called and said, hey, you have this and this. They accepted. They said, we'll release, and they release. So it is not just Akwanga. The only thing is, Akwanga does not have any remorse for what he has done. He says that they're going to keep the money, but we are sending him a message. Akwanga, you will not keep that money. We will follow you up, no matter how long it takes. Know this. The people are going to follow you up, and you will pay that money. Now, at this juncture, we'll take questions from our audience. So, Freya, just wait for some of the questions as they come up, and I'll put it to you. Those that I have to answer and those that you have to answer that are meant for you. Can we get some of those questions? Okay, somebody says, okay, Father, how many children do you have? This is just coming personal. That is from Jaff Joe. I don't know who that is.
Well, as I said, I'm on the way to priesthood. I'm not yet father. I'm friar. But
Yes.
as a Catholic priest, all the Christians and even those who are not Christians are their children. That's why they call them father. So if I will become a father, even you who is asking the question, you will be my child.
Thank you. Next question. Sure, Father, that Akwanga is the one behind every kidnappings. Well, that's not a question. Next question. That's from same person, Jaff Joe. Next question. We'll take questions for next 10 minutes, I guess, or less. And we want our viewers to understand that the questions are picked randomly by our team behind. So we only see them when they put them out there. So personally, we can't really screen. What are we doing about the closure of the churches by this notorious warlord? Captain Jaff Joe, you seem to be the only one sending questions. Well, apparently the people have stood up, and a lot of them, they've contacted us. Again, our phone number is +1 346 400 8337. You can contact us. You can report similar situations. A case is going to be filed here. Someone has already talked to the State Department. And we just have one thing. We are not out to destroy Akwanga. He started on a good path. If Akwanga can refund the money back, If Akwanga can apologize to these people, I think it's a way forward. Nobody should feel like we are out to destroy leaders. No, we are out to sanitize them. We are out to make them, to call them out on where they go wrong, on what they are doing wrong to the same people that they claim they are protecting. Now, this is what happens. When people contribute money in the United States because of the transaction of sending that money back home, some of them, like Akwanga, they don't have a job. So they keep that money, and that's how they encourage those boys down there to take ransom. So it's a 50-50 thing. They keep the money, the boys take the ransom to buy what they need, because they've lied to these guys. But again, we are sending this message. If Akwanga refunds the money, then we will not be part of the follow-up. But if he does not, Akwanga Ebenezer, you are listening. I, Theodore, and the team behind me will follow you up until you get to The Hague. It doesn't matter how long it will take. Take note. Now, there is a question. Father, do you have a personal problem with Akwanga from the way you talk?
I answered at the beginning first that I was not here maybe because want to put Akwanga down. So I don't have a personal problem. I am out for the oppressed, and Father was oppressed. That is why Akwanga must be called to order.
Okay, next question.
He's a Bakwarian like me, so I don't even have anything.
Just so the audience knows. I'm also a Bakwarian. So it's nothing, this is nothing tribal. If it was somebody from the northern zone, it would have been the same thing. Gerald Tabe says, is Chorongumba a critical foster? No, this is Chorongumba. I've already answered that. Go and look on our past episodes and you will see it. And those people that did come out to say, I gave them a check of 20,000, which will expire on the 31st of December. If they can't prove all those nonsense they were saying. Now, why didn't you reach out to Akwanga before giving the money? That's from Mami Api.
Okay, as I told you, I did not give the money to the kidnapped. Fathers did. And as I told you, when father left, the situation, the condition in which he left, he was already being tortured and traumatized, and he was even afraid that the driver would be killed. So he was doing everything to save the life of the driver, since the guys had asked money. So after paying, the guys were not. That was when he even approached Akwanga. And when Akwanga even knew that the father had informed him of ransom, that's when he went and did that fraudulent video you see. Meaning, if we could have even approached Akwanga on this issue of ransom, they could have killed Jerry, because those are their words. Like the guy who calls me from Russia, threatening me that if he were that next time they will kill all the priests and take the money and use. It is even a pity and a shame that with all the kidnapping, they cannot still buy good guns. They still go around with 10 guns.
Yes, and just to add to this same Mami Api, Mami Api, you are one of those that they say Chorongumba and Musonge and blah, blah, blah. You see, all that is gibberish. You know, we are out for our people. We say we are the voice of the voiceless, and we mean it. We mean every word of what that slogan is, the voice of the voiceless. It means those people that cannot defend themselves. Because at this juncture, we have La République that comes and they kill our people. And then we have the same people that they stood up to fight for us. And now they are torturing our people. Somebody needs to call them out, and that is where we come in. So I hope you've gotten this message very clean and clear. Now to the guy in Russia, in Moscow, it's just the beginning. Your threats, be careful with your threats. Let's get the next question. Father, are the police investigating? Well, that is from Anti-Rally. Anti-Rally, Father will not disclose that, but it is very clear from what you see so far that this is not dying down anytime soon. Sometimes when you follow up war criminals, they can even arrest them 10, 15 years after. Okay, from Evaristus Pinda, does the Catholic Church not have a branch here to file a case against Akwanga in the USA? Mr. Evaristus Pinda, Freya Charles is in Italy. We are in the US, And like I said, a lot of Southern Cameroonians have stood up. There are things that are going behind the scene. But again, Akwanga has some very good and humble beginnings, meaning that some of those things he did in the early days before he became a full-blown warlord, now thinking that he can trample on everybody, might help him out if he comes out and asks for forgiveness and refunds the money. I think the people will understand. If he does not do that, then I think they will move on. Okay, the next. Why have you not investigated Sako? That is from Mami Happy. Mami Happy, again, we cannot tell you the people that we are investigating, but if you want to hear, for sure we are investigating Sako. He is scared to come on this program. Let's use this to tell our people that all those frontline leaders who say cry out is the republic, they are scared of cry out. They are scared to come on this program because they don't know what I will ask them. They don't know what I have. I'll give you guys a surprise towards the end of this episode. Cry Out TV, why are you not calling the government side on your platform to be grilled? Well, we'll require you, Mbappe Pet, to go and listen to our videos, our different episodes. We have episodes there that we've called out the government. We do. At this juncture, we have so many things on our table. Now the people see us as a platform where we can investigate and bring out truth. So somehow, let me just put this to you. We have people that send their requests, they send us stuff, and we have people down there that they help us in doing our investigations. Pretty much there's so much on our desk to do. We wish we could have some volunteers. We need volunteers to help us, you know, and it will make it pretty much easy. Getting on January, we're going to have a whole full team. People will see different faces, you know, on Cry Out, on different programs, world news, that will keep reporting stuff. So I hope we've answered your question. Next, Father, can you show us proof of payment?
Okay, I think on that, the last time I think Ngomba sent the receipt for the 500,000 francs, which if you go to the last episode, you find it there. Then, as for the other, he gave it to the catechist. There was even an audio when he was giving money to the catechist. You know, these kidnappers is not like you go and withdraw money from the bank, but fortunately, there was this transaction that had to do with Momo, which I have the receipts, and I think Theodore did publish it in the last episode.
Yes, Miss Grace, just to add on that, you see, in America, there's what they call the Miranda right, which I did read on Akwanga, meaning that whatever you say can be used against you in the court of law. We have every evidence. Akwanga himself, he has acknowledged. So we are not talking about proof. In the court of law, everything Akwanga himself, he has said, can be used against him. Can we move to the next question? Father, next question, please. This is from Koge Scott Mbua. Did Father Jude inform Akwanga before paying the ransom? He wanted to say paying the ransom. Mr. Koge, Akwanga knows. If you watch or if you are listening to our reports, this is how these kidnappers, this is what they do. Akwanga, from my own personal experience, trying to intervene for a friend, so I would say, I have a friend here in Houston and other friends that have contacted me that have intervened. Whenever we call it Nakbele, so where Akwanga came and said I was insulting him, it's simple. Those people never accept that they are the ones keeping the person that they have kidnapped. No. So what you do is, let me use it in our normal local language. Me, I call or I send messages to them and I knock their belly, meaning that I use any method to knock their belly by saying, hey, you have these people. Now, Akwanga being very erratic, you know, and a narcissist liar, he came up to, he comes up like, no, he does not know what I'm talking about, but that is how they do it. And then later on, they will reach out to you and claim that, oh, we now know where these people are, and then we'll do everything so that these people can be released. Now, behind the scene, he goes and tells those people, ask for money. That's how it's done. And we have records. Akwanga and his gang, like we said last time, we keep having it. We have more people that have sent us messages, you know, that were, you know, when we're not able to come out, but since we came out, we have more people. So now it's above 200 million counting. And we think we'll have more people coming, you know, to tell us their experience with this same gang in Munyenge that is being run by Opopo. Now let's move to the next. Yes.
To also elaborate on this question, one of the audios which one of those guys talked to me, he said they can't do anything without the authorization of Akwanga. When I proved to him that the driver was not a military guy, he said no, he cannot take anything, cannot do anything. The same guy who I told you I helped in one way or the other, he said they can't do anything because they take all their orders from Akwanga. Yes. So the audio is there. Any person who needs it.
No, we have that. We have that audio. I think that is the guy that when you contacted earlier, he said he was in Yaoundé. As usual, they refused. Yeah. Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, even Akwanga, when I contacted Akwanga, he claimed he never knew of it and he refused. Opopo was not in the keeping till Mr. Fomba proved him with an audio which I've sent to you that he was Opopo was keeping Father Jude before he now came and said he had given them 24 hours. That was on Monday, and it was only on Thursday Father Jude was released. After the release of Father Jude, we tried for the release of the driver. That was when Akwanga became radical, was insulting, and I told him, okay, we'll use the hard way.
Most times what happens is you know, the thing is, Akwanga, most time what happens is the warlords will even disown the commander. But at this point, it was too late for Akwanga to disown Opopo. You know, we got him like this, right there. There is nothing he can do about it. We got him. Now, from Richard Moore, I really appreciate you both for the great job you both are doing. My question is, where were you guys before you were kidnapped? Okay, hold on. Mr. Richard Moore, Freya Charles is not the Reverend Father that was kidnapped. The Reverend Father that was kidnapped is his mentor. He is in Italy. That Reverend Father and the others are in Southern Cameroon, or they are in Cameroon. So they were going to Munyenge. If you go and watch our episode 23, you'll be able to understand where it started and where we are right now. Thank you. Let's take our last
humanitarian aid, humanitarian support.
Okay, let's take our last question. Who sponsors your TV platform? Mami Happy, I am a businessman, and let me explain this to you. I have more than 4 businesses here in the United States. I'm a realtor. I have a dealership, car dealership. I've been doing business in this country for more than 15 years. So you should understand. And I think God has blessed me to be able to start a media house. And Cry Out started more than 3 years ago. The only thing about Cry Out people should understand is the name changed to Cry Out during the time of the struggle. It was not going to be something that we used to be crying out, you know, just for this. We had another name. It was going to deal with different issues around the world. It's a full-time media house. During the course of this struggle, when I saw what was happening, and I told my entire team, developers and everybody, it cost me money to tell them to change everything. We started now, the naming to everything now to be Cry Out based on certain things that I saw in this struggle. So the name only came later on, but Cry Out, parent company is Unique Thoughts Group. It started way before the struggle started. So I think that answers your question. Thank you. Well, Bishop Mano will just take this. What's your advice to Akwanga for closing the church? We don't have any advice. He knows what to do. Now, let's go. Let's conclude. Before we end this show, we want to touch on a few facts connected to the kidnappings of Father Jude and his team. Besides the physical and mental abuse that those captured have to endure, the kidnappers also took nude pictures of them. This is used to blackmail anyone who decides to tell on them once freed. Wonder why many who have been kidnapped are always quiet on the issue. Do not be surprised to see nude pictures of Father Jude and his team circulating on social media in the coming days. Akwanga is a narcissistic liar who has boasted that the money will not be refunded. We have bad news for you. You will not get away with being a high-class pickpocket. This rascal must be called to order. The movement begins now. These are your hashtags. We've created hashtags that we want every Southern Cameroonian, our friends, our sympathizers, will use to let the world know. The first one is no to kidnappings for ransom. Can we have that on the screen? No to kidnappings for ransom. No to kidnappings for ransom. No to kidnappings for ransom. Yes, hashtag. And the second one will be Ebenezer Akwanga refund the ransom money. So we have two hashtags that have been created. We are going to tweet this hashtag. We are going to make sure Akwanga feels the heat, that the pain of these Clarissan missionaries will be transferred. He's going to feel the heat. Already from what I understand right now, he has already lost about 2 to 5 pounds. That's not enough. He's going to feel the heat. And to his surrogates, the Florentine, which we believe is Akwanga himself, that goes behind a British phone number, Florentine. We have all those numbers to the Divine. All of them, it's a message we are sending to you. We are not backing down. It's just the beginning. Now, we encourage, again, like we said, we encourage all Southern Cameroonians, especially all the good people worldwide, to shame this devil and speak on behalf of his victims. We have received tons of mail asking us to investigate the killings in Guzang and the death of General Ivo. Now, we'll be making a statement once investigations are completed. To ADF and AGC, they will be baffled by our communication with their late soldier, General Ivo. We just want the people to know, General Ivo, not the fact that he is a soldier of the ADF, a lot of people didn't know a lot about him. I personally have tons of recordings with Ivo. And some of the recordings, just so the ADF and the AGC should know, Ivo did tell me, Grand Gomba, my people that they remember book plenty. But what way you do, you educate them. You no hate them. Me, SF Ivo, I used to holler my boss, Ayaba, when I don't vex. And sometimes, they try to communicate with me. They need to get me. Grand Gomba, who say you be there since? When I talk for you, I get wisdom. That's just a tip of the iceberg to the ADF and the AGC guys. We are investigating, and we want you guys to reach out to us because we have questions to ask if your hands are clean. We don't want to conclude our investigations and it happens that, you know, any amongst you guys is to be blamed. We are open. We are open to discuss. Our numbers are there. 346-400-8337. Now, we thank you all for participating in today's show, and we wish you all a happy, a Merry Christmas, and a New Year in advance. Thank you all. Thank you, Reverend Friar Charles Luanga Augustino. We also want our people to understand that we were supposed to play some of the music videos of Reverend Father Jude that was kidnapped. It's on YouTube, but because of copyright policies with YouTube, if we play those videos without actually getting, we have permission from Reverend Father Jude, but because YouTube also has a contract with him, copyrights, if we play it, we were going to shut down this live stream. So we encourage our people to go and look for that music video. Search Reverend Father Jude and you'll see his music videos and get to find out more about this guy. His classmates, some of them have reached out to me personally, and they cried. They said this guy has been a smart guy in school. And again, he said he had forgiven those people that kidnapped him. But we are not going to let go. Akwanga, the ball is in your court. If you like, come again and try to counter this life, and we'll bring out more things that you don't even know we have. Be very careful. Whatever you say, I think at this point you should have a legal team to advise you, because you run your mouth like popcorn. Thank you all. Merry Christmas. Reverend Fred Charles, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all you have been doing. And we pray God, my presence here as a man of God, may the Lord grant the wish of your radio and make it to prosper. As the new year comes, may your words be really your words, and may they yield fruits. May you be blessed, and your team, may you grow to also be the voice of our people. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.